after their disappearance. Wow, I am hungry. As soon as the Rogue Trader's void ship had emerged from the warp in an unknown system. 20 days. Transit correction, Cassie is tearing through the fights. True, but I took the time to make a bunch of other people officers to give Cassia extra turns. I am promoting that terrible behavior. Alright, visit. Oh, we got 2 planets here. That's a pretty star. Nothing. Okay. Has to bring. Yeah, I was gonna bring Cassie anyway. She's great. You tried to tell me to not bring her. You see how that goes for you. Ugh. That is not my formation. What the crap? No! Tank in the front. That's my formation. I dare you, Mike, to not bring her to your next fight. I can still fight without her, but my god, that would be, that'd be like setting aside a very powerful weapon and bringing a rusty knife. There's barely a noticeable imprint of a long clawed hand on the broken cogitator screen.
Unexpected result.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Plus 15 ballistic skill, Drukari gloves. The Orselio navigators left no stone unturned in this Eldari temple. It's as if they were looking for something that they just could not find.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Tapestry of a world.
The Eldari sanctum is blemished by human presence. In their pursuit of ancient secrets, the navigators had no qualms about filling the ruins with machinery and supplies.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Goods. Decayed pages. House Orselio need not know what is taking place here. The navigators are frightened enough by its power as it is. The last experiment left 3 from the Sathala clan without a shred of reason. Empty shells will bring no glory to House Orselio or its lesser branch. We shall carry on. At last we have managed to implant the artifact in subjects who can wield its power. Perhaps all the navigators who perished in the agonizing torrent of energy were merely a symptom of our decline. I am tired of counting the dead. The weak have no place among those who were harnessed by the Atlas. Their abilities have grown manifold and become significantly easier to control and more effective at resisting the ruinous influence of the warp. It is all or nothing. Today is the day when my work is completed and the Starway Atlas takes its final form. The Sathalas have already undergone the operation. All that's left is me, the Atlas that controls them all. Today I will become the greatest Novator in the history of House Orselio, or I turn to nothing. The power is beyond compare. All it took was a whim to make the wretched Sathalas fall dead at my feet. It is as if I have a second heart beating in my chest, subjugating any with the ability to touch it. How regrettable it is that this power only extends to those Orselio navigators who have accepted a piece of the Atlas within themselves. From now on, all children will be gifted with one at their initiation, and there will be no one who can match our greatness. Okay. The heart of the Navigator's camp. This is where Tisiphone Orselio performed her experiments hundreds of years ago. Heinrich says it feels great. Adira chain lightning makes it feel useless. So, Adira was an unsanctioned psyker, so like anytime she does anything, there's like a 5% chance that she's just going to, you know, blow you up. And that, I really didn't like that. I really didn't like that there was a chance that she was just going to kill the whole party every time she did something, like summon demons and stuff. Heinrich's had, this person that was similar, Heinrich's had Word of the Emperor, and that, it was like a near infinitely stacking buff he could do on the party every turn, which was really powerful the longer the fight went. Eldari Chainsword. But yes, the Chain Lightning was great for, like, you know, small packs of weak enemies. Someone removed the data crypt from this dead machine to keep the House's secret safe and leave no information about the experiments that took place here.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Or Xenos.
My success is an irrefutable.
The ruinous statues
certainty.
once depicted pages from the long history of the Eldari. How do I get? I don't know how to get down there. Yet.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They
What?
all will see.
Halt, cursed child. We had to ally ourselves with the Xenos once more to stop you. What? No matter. It is a small price to pay for the liberation of House Orselio from the chains of tyranny. Yeah, I was using Heinrichs mainly as a buffer, not as a damage dealer. Dude, what the heck? Begone, renegades. We have followed the Atlas's call in your wake, child. Stand with us. House Orselio will not trade Tisiphony's legacy for the false ideals of blind fools. So, dude, everywhere we go, House Orselio is trying to kill us. What? What is happening? Ah! What the? Dude, Cassie is doing it too. That's a lot of Kool-Aid. What is this guy? What is that? Is that a Harlequin? What is that? Orselio's Renegade's representative. Damn Xenos, this was not the bargain we struck. Throne smite you. The navigator, whose skin is so thin it reveals the muscles, bones, and innards underneath, clenches his augmented gold jaw in contempt. Great Regent's envoy. What is this? The rogue traitor and the traitors to the house have lured the child into a trap set by Xenos? I wish my eyes were deceiving me, but now I can clearly see that Great Regent Aranto is right to send us after your vessel. The sturdily built woman is armed with a pistol, and yet there are signs of exhaustion in her posture. Her face is hidden behind a gem-encrusted, three-eyed mask, and her elaborate Navis Nobilite vestments are stained with dried blood and other evidence of recent combat. I too wish to be enlightened about what is happening here. You will stop defiling the remains of the hallowed ground of our ancestors with your semblance of speech, monkey. The Harlequin— I was right! The Harlequin's bright clothes glimmer faintly in the dim light of the system's star, and the sinister grin on his mask only adds to the menacing and aloof presence. The final act will soon unfold, where you will pay for the deeds of your ancestors. Stay put and wait for the puppeteer to pull at your strings. Why? Why are there Xenos ruins where the palace of the Atlas should be? Why is this place coated in an impenetrable black mist? I'm suffocating. She clutches her breastplate near where her Atlas is, her voice feeble and trembling. Three-eyed monkey who sees into Shael, the taint on your ancestors has begun to consume your body and soul. Pathetic fools with an insatiable lust for power that is not yours. Ending your misery will be merciful. Taint? Do you mean the Atlas? Xenos traitor? Silence, traitor. The Atlas is a sacred relic of House Orselio. It is what elevates us above the rest. How dare you? The Regent's envoy abruptly loses her breath with a groan, and she clutches her chest where her Atlas is implanted. I refuse to accept this. Impossible. Okay, so was the original Atlas from the Harlequins or something? What is this taint you speak of, Xenos? Do you not see it? The Harlequin's voice booms throughout the ruined temple. When you, monkey, discovered the Crone world, you tainted it with your crude technology, despoiled it of its relics, ruined all there was to the last stone. But worst of all, you sullied the souls of our ancestors reposed in their sacred vessel, the spirit monolith. Oh my god, is the Atlas full of dead Eldari? He points his thin finger at the remarkable crystal floating behind his back, and the Harlequins around you tighten their grips on their weapons. Like a sea of bottomless blue, Cassia looks around her with a stunned expression, her gaze shifting from one Xenos to another. I did not know that living things could exude such saturated hues. I wish I could paint this ocean a different color. Examine the hovering crystal. This enormous translucent stone shares a strange resonance with this place. You can sense the energy emanating from it, mysterious, restless, coagulated. It resembles a giant heart that has been plucked out of its owner's chest. Its crystal clarity is pierced by hundreds of dark veins that have taken root with terrible illness. Is it this thing? How did the navigators of House Orselio taint the spirit monolith? The experiments. She covers her mouth in horror. This is where she conducted her experiments. Tisiphone. No, it's not possible. To consort with Xenos is to violate the word of the God Emperor. It is known to all that Tisiphone or Celio executed anyone who showed any interest in the enemies of humanity. Or she executed witnesses. Is that so? Is that why it is, then why is it that every piece of metal or fabric in this place bears our house's coat of arms? Open your eyes. Quiet. The Harlequin's tone is mild, but it is not a request. I am unsurprised that the truth is hidden from your gazes, three-eyed monkey who see into Shael. I realized it the moment I first met you. Wretched, begging us to help you destroy your own kin. I sensed it within you, our ancestors' call. Their pleas, their endless torment. I knew that that what you found was a crone world, and I humbly waited for the day you could lead me to it. Address Cassia. What experiments did Tisiphone conduct here? I cannot say where this memory springs from. Perhaps I saw visions of Tisiphone in my dreams, and yet I have seen all of this so clearly. There was such power located within this stone, such opportunities, it would make our navigator's abilities several times stronger. No, it would magnify them by a factor of dozens. But the price was too high. After mere hours of use, the stone would burn away the minds of its hosts. That is why Tisiphone broke the monolith into shards, which were far easier for humans to control, which is going to be the Atlas. No, your ancestors went further than that. The Harlequin trembles with fury. They placed the shards of the spirit monolith into their bodies to empower their abilities. I never wish to learn such truths about my own house. Cassia buries her face in her hands, and you feel waves of despair spreading from her lithe frame, which suddenly appears fragile as glass. Neither Theodora von Valancius nor Tisiphone was infallible, but that doesn't mean we are powerless to rectify the errors of our ancestors. You say that only because you wish to soothe me, she smiles faintly. Yes. The renegade navigator stares at Cassia in shock. You are more than just a tyrant's heir. You are a successor to a mad heretic, a betrayer of the faith. You must be destroyed, you and the Atlas, once and for all. Didn't the Harlequin tell you to be quiet? You think the solution is so easy, don't you, monkey? When you die, your souls become captives inside the spirit monolith. This process is deranging to our ancestors, who have served as the monolith's guardians for eons. It is equally agonizing to the souls of your dead. And the more monkey souls the monolith absorbs, the more volatile it becomes. The Eldari and the monkey have spent many a dance battling for supremacy within the monolith, and its integrity is waning. You sense it too. The only way to free our ancestors from the pain is to separate the monkey taint from the spirit monolith. My troop is here to perform just that. We all will play our parts today, and when the final act of this age-long tragedy begins, the monkey players will exit this world's stage. Sinister shadows dance on the Harlequin's mask as he draws an unknown device from his sleeve. Hold on, we got a lot of options. Is there no way whatsoever to separate the Navigator's souls from those of the Eldari without killing one or the other? The Xenos thinks for a moment. I do not believe there is. The three-eyed monkey have desecrated this place, and I will not put the Spirit Monolith at risk just to help them avoid the consequences of a lamentable performance. Cassia is the inheritor of the one who bound the Spirit Monolith to the Navigator's bodies. Listen to whatever she has to say. She is not the woman her predecessor was. Cassia gives you a grateful nod and turns to the Harlequin troop. I cannot change the past, it is true. Nor can I change the fact that my house is forever tainted with disgrace born of Tisiphone or Celio's hubris. Yet all of us here today have the power to change the future and halt the unending suffering that is drowning both your kin and mine. You suggest that the monkey and the Eldari change the future together. The Harlequin leans forward curiously. I must admit, my leading lady, I am confounded by your audacity. Go on. My Atlas. Cassia puts a hand on her gilded breastplate. If you can free the phantoms of my house from the spirit monolith, guide them to enter my Atlas. Their experience and wisdom will help steer House Celio onto the path of truth and allow future generations to avoid calamitous pitfalls of their forebears. K. Marog, my leading lady, the shards of the monolith are lodged inside the chest of every monkey bound to you by ties of blood. How exactly do you intend to return them? I shall use the Atlas to sever my subject's connection to the spirit monolith, and I shall extract its shards from every navigator of House Orselio. This artifact is implanted at birth, but that does not mean the ritual cannot be reversed. I witnessed its creation through Tisiphony's eyes in my visions. I lived it over and over again through the memories of the Sathala clan. I can recreate the ritual that will return the souls of your kin to you and save my people's lives. Seldom do humans and Xenos get the chance to resolve conflicts without violence. I second Lady Cassia's proposal. The Harlequin remains as still as a garish statue for several minutes. Then the mellifluous voice behind the mask says, I'm willing to try, Monkey. No! The Regent's envoy draws her pistol. I won't let you destroy the Atlas, even if it's the child's wish. Lady Orselio, you are too young, inexperienced. You simply cannot comprehend. You address the future Novator of House Orselio, one who survived the massacre of Urak V, who has lived following an attempt on her life at the Palace of Dargonis, who has restored her house's stability in what scant time she has been free, while you, all of you, have spent years destroying it from within. You address one who has passed through the tempest of the Sea of Souls to the true Atlas as a rogue trader's ally. Yet still you call me unworthy, don't you? Young, inexperienced, kneel before me and I shall forgive you your insolence. Fellowship test success. House Orselio was always loyal to Novator Tisiphony. Henceforth, it will be loyal to her successor, even if you see fit to lead us down a different path, my lady. Wow, your tone changed real fast. The Navigator's voice trembles with reverence. Are you done with your performance, Monkey? Then stand aside and do not interrupt. So he's gonna pull out the Navigator souls now. Ah, I can feel it again, the tranquility. The ancestral souls have found peace and corruption no longer endangers the monolith or this world. Oh, it's blue now. The Harlequin's narrow shoulders now look completely relaxed. Remember our agreement, Cassia Orselio. We will soon meet in this place again so that you can give us the shards. And now be gone from our world, Monkey. Talk to Cassia on the ship. But there's loot. Or book. There was a time when I believed I would lead my house to prosperity. In truth, fortune and blessings have long since passed us by, as if the Coronis Expanse itself is trying to oust the Orselio children from its bounds. If nothing changes in the near future, all of us will wither like night flowers at dawn, or perhaps face our ultimate fall. Upon my word, Sea of Souls itself must favor me. During the last jump, I saw into the eye of a vicious storm. Within it, amid the ruins of the Xenos ship, was a treasure, mighty and dangerous, not unlike our own power, and I found a way to reach it. I drive away the memory of our journey and the cost that our house suffered. The ritual alone was... No matter. The goal will be worth the price, and due effort is all I have needed of this. By the grace of the Emperor, we made it through that terrible tempest. However, the Eldari ruins appear to have dampened the crew's spirits. Those pitiful commoners talk too much. Tensions in the camp are rising. I should cut out the tongues of those who witnessed the first experiments. This information cannot be allowed to reach the ship. No, not just them. I shall have the Sathala clan dock the tongue of every lowborn. Dock the tongue of every... Oh my god, just took everybody's tongues.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the road.
Just another statue of an Eldar. Probably not. Or Xenos.
Error. Making adjustments.
The best features of the Asturani and the Drakari are preserved in the statue of an ancient warrior, and yet is unmistakably different from the Xenos that roam the Coronis Expanse today.
There will be no peace.
I'm guessing it's going to be talk
way.
to her on the ship. Yep. Someone removed the data crypt from this dead machine to keep the house's secret safe. Oh yeah, we read that earlier. Okay. All right, back to our ship.
What lies beyond?
Like how the stream turned into a dramatic reading like that. Sometimes the mood just calls for it, man. This game does a great job of showing the strengths of the setting. It's rewarding seeing good outcomes in a grimdark setting. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the bridge of the ship. Yeah, man. Alright, Cassia. Oh, I haven't talked to the Space Marine since he got... Why is this guy T-posing? Look at this servitor here, chat. Just, flexing on us. Showing his dominance.
Oh, how nice of you to grace me with your presence. I was just thinking back to our journey to the Palace of the Atlas. That is, to the world of Xenos.
Xenos.
Remembering that most reckless act has enveloped my mind in a whole palette of hues. But when I think of the great risk you took for House Orselio's and my own sake, an azure shawl instantly descends on my shoulders, and amber sparks flash inside my soul. Please accept my sincerest gratitude.
What awaits the navigators of your house now?
The Xenos have managed to free the souls of our ancestors from their confinement. The memory and wisdom of those that came before us will serve our house, helping build upon the ruins of the present a firm foundation for generations to come. I believe in that, as I believe in the divine light of the Emperor.
So you are now a full-fledged Novator of House Orselio?
You of all people should know that succession is a lengthy and tiresome process. While my entire house is busy preparing for a grand council at which I am to ceremonially inherit the late Tisiphone's title, I have decided to remain by your side, to relish just a little more of this carefree liberty.
Good, you're my main
For
DPS.
as soon as I am summoned to do my duty,
And tank,
we must
and
say
everything.
our farewells.
So now the entire power of the Atlas is in the Novator's hands.
I suppose so, if by power you mean priceless knowledge. As for the special powers granted by the Xenos souls, the navigators of House Orselio will once again have to contend with their own bodily and spiritual limitations. However, I am undaunted by the prospect, for our line and our gene have never been weak. House Orselio will succeed, and soon we will rise again, draped in white and gold.
Alright.
Of course, I will try to answer any question. I have enjoyed.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's quest complete. Alright, I think that's the end of her companion quest. I don't know if there's another companion quest for her later, but I think that's the end of that one. Alright, so next time we're still waiting for this guy and we still gotta find this thing. Ian. Okay. Also would like to talk to, I'm gonna stand next to Ulfar to try to remind my future self to talk to him because we haven't talked to him yet. So I'm gonna save it here and going to pick it up from this moment next time.